At this time, I'm really excited to be able to invite Jeff Torrens. Jeff and I have known each other since I arrived in Kamloops, which was 17 years ago. He was working as a pastor at one of the churches here, and that's where I first met you. And him and his family have been a part of Summit Drive for over a decade now. And he's been serving for 10 years with Focus Club and International Student Ministries Canada. It's a good thing I memorized that before I came up here, right? I always get the acronym mixed up in my head, and I really didn't want to get it wrong. So thank you, Jeff. He's been serving with Focus Club for over 10 years, and it's been an honor and a privilege for us as a church to support Jeff and the ministry of Focus Club that's been going on for a long time now. And Jeff's going to tell us a lot more about that. And what I'm really excited about is I made a whole bunch of new friends today. Is friends too strong of a word? I guess I shook their hands and learned their names, which I promptly forgot. I think I know 3 of your names. But we're going to hear from international students today, and they're going to just share a little bit about how they've been blessed by this ministry, too. So would you welcome Jeff and the crew today? Yeah, Jeff.
Great, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. Before I get our Focus Club friends up here, just want to make sure that you get some of the details around the ministry. So ISMC is International Student Ministries Canada. That's who I work for, and Focus Club is what we do. So ISMC is a parachurch missionary organization that's reaching out to international students on Canadian universities. So there's 40 full-time staff members across Canada working on Canadian universities, ministering to international students who attend there. Right now, there's about 900,000 international students, which is roughly the same size as Nova Scotia. So they're like another entire province in Canada. At TRU, there's 3,500 to 4,000 international students, depending on the day, whether they get up and whether they're feeling good or not. But they're on the ground at the local campus. And so when people ask me, what do I do and how big is your group? I say, 4,000. They're like, wow, raises some eyebrows. But I've been leading Focus Club on campus for the last 10 years. This summer I'll be starting my 11th, God willing. And before I move on, I just want to make sure that everybody who had met my predecessor a long, long time ago, Dan Geddard, a couple of people have come up to me and said, hey, what happened to Dan? Dan and Ann are doing well. They're pastoring a church in Alberta. Things are going gangbusters, so they are doing fantastic. And through this entire time, this church has been supporting me, my family, and the ministry and students, and we're just deeply appreciative of your faithfulness to the mission that we've been called to do. So what do? Every Friday night, we invite international students to Southwest Community Church. We also do a couple of events on campus at TRU. We host and run an event called Focus Club. Focus stands for, I don't know even if you guys know this, but Fellowship of College and University Students. So it offers international students a meal every single week, a chance to meet new people, a chance to participate in Bible study discussions, much like young adults here on Monday. And I think there's a little bit of crossover. Some people come on Monday, and then they come on Friday as well. And our mission is to empower international students to impact the world through Jesus Christ. But why don't we hear from them? And I've got 4 of them coming up here to tell us a little bit about their lives and about how awesome Focus Club is. Come on up. Yeah, we can have more than one. So, single file. There we go. This is one of the times we've done this since COVID. We're just kind of getting back into how to do this, right? Yeah. So, this is our club president. Has been for how many years?
Not even 1.
Oh. Great. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Zipa Kaonga. I'm from Zambia, which is in the upper part of southern Africa. So being in the northern hemisphere is a new thing for me.
let's just do introductions and we'll go from there.
Oh, okay. So I've been the president for not even like a semester. So yeah, I'm just getting into this new leadership role. But yeah, I'm just supposed to introduce.
You're doing such a great job, it feels like you've been doing it forever. There, that's how I cover myself.
Sure.
That's great.
Hi everyone, my name is Preetil Rodriguez. I'm from India, but I moved around a lot. I lived in Dubai for 10 years before moving to Canada. So it's like a 360-degree or 180-degree shift because Dubai is really, really hot. And Canada is really, really cold. I'm trying to survive. This is my second year here, and I'm doing my post-bac in supply chain management at TRU. And I'm one of the peer mentors also at TRU. I help students with any difficulties they have around, and I work with TRU as well. So that's a short introduction, I hope.
Hi everyone, my name is Brak Banver, or you can call me Brakino, that's like more easy. I'm coming from Italy, you're from the central part of Italy. The special thing about my place, or I should say my village, actually not my village, like a really small fraction. We're having like 150 inhabitants only, and when coming from a really small place. My village name is Santa Maria dell'Alto Cielo. I wanted to flash it, and I say it every time with pride that I'm coming. I'm representing my 150 inhabitants from there. Yeah, and I'm an international student over here studying international business, an aspiring entrepreneur, and that's what my goal is. And I have a passion for wine. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much, Pastor Dave and Pastor Ben, for the warm welcome. It really, really means a lot. I'm Rashmin Keshwani. I'm from India. I have been a Master's of Education student at TRU, and I'm a fresh graduate. This morning, I just would like to say how warm and welcoming the entire team of Focus Club is. Yes, including you, Jeff. So you might have been knowing these people, Jeff, Michelle, Dawn and Carmen, Sandy, David, Mike, yes. So all of these are really, really amazing people. And every Friday when we go there, we are embraced and we are hugged, and all the love that we receive, it leaves us, in fact, wanting to wait for every Friday. So that's the amazing work that Focus Club is doing. Thank you so much.
In case you didn't get that, she's a recent graduate, so she's done the deal and graduated and now looking for work. Yeah. Next steps. So I'll give you guys a couple of questions, and you can answer them however you wish. What's the best part about Canada, worst part about Canada without weather? What do you miss most from home, from where you were born? And I think maybe give us, pull the curtains back a bit and tell us how you end up in Kamloops. Because we're all like, hey, Kamloops is great. And you're from all over the world, and we're like, how do you end up here? And as good as it is, just, what's some of the processes that you have to go through in order to land at TRU?
Okay, so for me, the best part of Canada is the people. Everybody here is a lot more welcoming, and I have traveled a lot. I've been to Australia, I've been to Britain, I've been to South Africa, and the people here are very different. It's a very welcoming community, and it's very easy to find your place, or at least find a group of people you fit into. The worst part of Canada, I would say, is the food. I miss the food from home so much, and I recently went into a restaurant the other day, and I had asked for a really spicy dish, and they were like, oh, how spicy do you want it? And I'm like, oh, really spicy? And so they gave it to me, and I tasted it, and I'm like, this isn't spicy at all. It was a very sad day for me. I think I'm just gonna walk around with a bottle of hot sauce in my belt. Yes. Wait, what was the other question? Oh, how I ended up in Canada? Yeah. Well, I'm a middle child, so I'm here with my siblings.
So for me, the best thing about Canada is I second on Zipa. The people are so friendly. I've never seen the people I've seen in Canada. I'm being really honest because I've traveled. This is my 10th country I'm traveling and living. Living in is my 3rd country, and I've traveled to 10 countries before coming to Canada. And the first thing what I noticed was when I was standing in the bus stop and there was a lady passing by. So usually in other countries where I've been, people just ignore you and they just pass by. So this lady who was passing by, she's like, "Hi, good morning." And I'm like, do I know her? Has she seen me somewhere? And in my mind, it's only like, oh, is she stalking me? Has she seen me somewhere? Has she been following me home? And I was so scared because I'm being honest because I lived in Aberdeen. You know how dark it gets in winters in Aberdeen, where I am like, I have classes at 5:30, and that was my first semester. I was a winter batch student, and that was my first semester. I had a class at 5:30. At 4 o'clock, I'm waiting for the 4 number bus, and I'm like, the lady passes by me, and I'm like, okay, how does she know me? Is she going to stalk me? Has she been following me? Has her family been following me? Then I realized every day when I stood, many people started saying, "Hi, how are you?" and everything. I'm like, oh, this is how people are here. This is how I came into like a cultural shock when I came here. I'm like, oh my God, people are so nice. I've never had nice people like this in streets in my life. Because I lived in India and I was very young when I lived there. When I moved, my maturity started hitting when I was in Dubai, and people are always running. They're always trying to chase their dreams and go up all the time. And then here people are like, yeah, you do your thing, I do my thing, but I'll still wish you good morning, good evening. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. So that's the best thing I've had about Canada. And the worst is, can I have more summers here, please? Can I get the heat back, please? It's too cold. Like, now Jeff picked us up, so I'm just wearing this, or else I'm in layers all the time with the cold. Now I'm a little bit used to it. I can still walk around in -10, but -25, I would want to go back to sleep in bed, not get out of the house. Yeah, it's a horrible thing. And I would second on food as well. Is this because you guys are so sweet that you always eat sweet? Is this like a thing that you eat sweet, that you're so sweet all the time? Because I need hot sauce every time. Like we went to North Shore yesterday. I was at my friend's place. They bought some meat from there. And we thought, oh my God, this smells so nice. And it was, I don't know if everyone eats chicken or not. If someone is vegan, I'm so sorry. So they bought chicken from there. And we were thinking of doing some barbecue thing and everything. And we were like, oh, it smells so nice. And we started eating it. We were like, yeah, it smells nice, but it's sweet. We need hot sauce. Where's hot sauce? So we put lots of hot sauce, then we ate. So yeah, the sweet is one thing. But it's good that you people eat so much sweet that you're so sweet. So that's also a good thing. And, oh yeah, why am I here? Sorry, I forgot. I got too engrossed in the food because I'm hungry right now. Sorry. Yeah, it's morning breakfast time, and Jeff told me 8:15 you have to be ready, and I woke up by 8. Good. I took a shower last night, so I'm not smelly. I took a shower last night and I slept because Jeff did not tell me anything until morning today. Sorry, I have to bicker about Jeff. It's the thing. And then Jeff was like, 8:15, be ready. I'm sitting in the sofa, 8:15. Jeff is like, oh, I'm picking up this person, and then I'm coming to him. I'm like, I should have known this better about Jeff. I should have slept until 8:30 and then woken up and then come. But yes, about why I came here, I finished a certification for supply chain before. So I was like, I wanted to upgrade it to a degree, because if I have to renew my certificate, I need to pay $2,000 per certification. And it's like 3 certifications I have to do. So I was like, yeah, why not just go for an education? And TRU is the only university which was accepting me as an open learning student, because I worked and I studied even before when I was doing my bachelor's. So there are only very less universities in Canada who accept the open learning student, like how they are doing teaching here. So TRU is the only one, and one more in Ontario, I think. But I'm happy that I chose TRU and I came here and not went to Ontario. So yeah, thank you. I'm sorry it was too long.
No, we actually enjoyed you listening. So I actually want to narrow down this, because I don't know how Ontario people are, how are the Quebecians, so I'm going to talk about the British Columbians, or I will narrow down it to the Okanagan area. The good thing and the bad things. starting with a good thing. I actually like that's a cultural difference which I've felt over from Europe to here, is that we guys are too direct, and people say that we are not that much of smiling. We are like, we are like more transparent. We just say, okay, yes or no. There are no gray lines. But I'm seeing like hundreds of gray lines over here. I'm just passing a sarcasm. Sometimes it becomes tough to have that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a good thing, and people are smiling. And I've seen that classic thing which I've noticed is that people all everywhere, even if I don't know, they're just, nodding their head like this. And I said, like, okay, do I know you, or maybe you're just passing by? So, yeah, it's a nice way of interacting, or maybe just, just respecting the other person. We don't have that much. And yeah, talking about another good thing, I actually like your wines, guys. You have really good. I have tried some of the local Okanagan wines, the Kutaminair, the German wine. You guys make better than Germans, yeah. And yeah, Pinot Noir, and these are like really good. So I was actually traveling around Salmonham and Penticton, Oliver, and I went to some couple of places. Actually, I like them, so yeah, I just go around. The thing which I don't like, I don't know. I mean, I like everything. Yeah, no bad things. Coming to the second question, so why I came over here. Actually, it was a really planned thing for me, because like most of the Italians, even my Italian relatives and my aunties stay here. And I needed to move because, yes, European Union is passing across the economic crisis. And yeah, I was being affected with that. So I said, like, okay, I don't want to go maybe to Norway or Germany or Denmark, but I decided to shift. Okay, I can take a big leap. And then I had my family or a relative support. So my auntie stays in Salmonham. So yeah, I can just go to her, and I get when there is a family, you have that moral support. It might not be the financial one, but like, you can just go on, Sundays, do your laundries done, have some lunches, like, and return back. So yeah, that was the reason I chose TRU.
I have the mic. Okay. Hi. Pri, Zipa, and Prak have actually summarized everything. That's the perks of standing last. All your points are taken away, but I'll do my best. So to answer the first question, what am I doing in Canada, and precisely in Kamloops TRU? I had this goal of coming to Canada when I was 16 because I knew how I wanted my life or my education to be laid out. And I've been a teacher at heart. So since my grade 12, I've always been teaching. If I have to summarize my life in one word, then it would be teaching and mentoring. So I have done my bachelor's and my master's in computing science, and I also have my bachelor's and master's in education now. So a lot of people tell me, isn't that a lot of studying? I'm like, wait till I get my PhD. So I'm really proud of the universities that I chose and the colleges that I did my bachelor's and master's in. And when I completed my bachelor's in education, I was like, I need to find a good university, which is really encompassing and gives me a holistic experience, including research and academics, makes me fit in the new culture and the new background that I'm wanting to be a part of. And TRU stood out for me in that sense. So I'm really, really glad that I did choose TRU. If I do get asked this question a lot, why not UBC, why not UWIC, or questions like that. But I think the professors that I have in TRU, if I had to make this decision all over again, I would still choose TRU without a doubt. So I'm really, really happy to be here in TRU, in Kamloops, and in Canada overall. Another reason that I would say that I'm happy to be in Kamloops is Focus Club. Yes, and Jeff told me to say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Can't
Not
get
at
away
all.
with anything here.
He told me, if you say this, I'll give you a treat. So I'm like, okay, now my treat. Time to cash it. Okay, jokes apart, but I genuinely mean it, that I am really happy that I am in Kamloops, because there exists a club which makes me really feel like I have a family here away from my family. I have a home away from my home. So I'm really grateful that you do all the amazing work that you do and the team that you have. Because as an international student, all the chaos that goes on into our lives, sometimes we don't really have anyone to share that with. It's just, you cannot share that with your roommates, not with your classmates, or even with your professors, because you don't want to bother them with all the troubles that you have. And you sometimes just want to unwind, relax, and get a fresh perspective to your problems. And you don't know where to go to, you're lost. And then on a Friday evening, when you're carrying that heavy baggage, not just of books, but also of all the problems that you have had a rough shift and things like that, that's when you see a smiling face of Jeff waiting for you to welcome you to the Focus Club, to the Southwest Community Church, and you're like, yes, at least for once, for the couple hours, like for 2 hours from 6 to 8:30, I can push all my troubles and everything aside and walk into this place where I can be happy again. And then I can dedicate my weekend to solving all my problems with a fresh, happy mind. So thank you so much, Jeff, for doing that for us. And thank you all for helping Jeff in whatever capacities you all have been helping, so that he's able to do that for us. So thank you to all of you. And yeah, the thing that I like the most about Kamloops, or about Canada in general, I think it's the people. I totally reckon with what Pri said. Pri and Prak said. Okay, I give you the credit. I read a line at Superstore. It says, BC has the most friendliest people. And I was walking past the Sahali, like the Summit Drive Road, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's actually true. I've never met anyone who I would be like, what's wrong with you, you know? I never had that kind of an encounter. I was always happy to meet every single person that I met, whether they were my supervisors, my professors, or even just like normal people of the community. I was really happy to learn the new culture of, like Pri said, greeting people, even despite the fact that whether you know them or you don't know them, sharing a smile on the go. So I'm really happy to learn that culture and imbibe it in myself.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. That's it.
I have something to add. Can I add something?
Sure.
Thank you. I have a speech ready.
You mean above the one you just gave?
Yeah, above the one that I gave. Okay, so I just wanted to share that my favorite part about Focus Club is the discussion tables. And the reason I love them is because they make me an even more philosophical person. And I'll give you some examples of the discussion tables that we have. There was one, okay, I'll just describe how the Focus Club night runs first. So each night we enter the Southwest Community Church. First, there's a meet and greet, there's a little grace prayer that is said, and then we have our food. And after having the food, we sit on the discussion table to read the Bible and add some hope, some inspiration, and some love into our lives. So one of the many papers that I recall discussing about was that our deeds decide whether we get closer to the Holy Spirit or we accumulate more dirt on our hearts. And when we've had like rough days and when somebody has been mean to us, whether it was a classmate or a colleague or a coworker at some shifts that we are doing, it really is very difficult to remember the message of God that He gave to us. And these are the times where it feels that, okay, yes, I need to clear off the dust that I'm accumulating on my heart, and I can do this to get closer to the Holy Spirit and remember the message of Jesus that He has given us. And we are in the era of social media, so everyone is following someone on Instagram or on Snapchat or Facebook and things like that. And they may not be able to add value into our lives, but we are still following them. We are still scrolling and surfing through them. But those are actually people or influencers who may end up leading us astray, and we are still following them blindly. So in one of the discussion table, I was really touched when we were discussing about friends and followers, and Michelle asked me, who are we following on our Instagram? And I was like, what are we learning from them? What values are they adding onto our lives? And then it struck me that we are actually supposed to be following the ways of God to uplift our lives and to enrich ourselves. And I was like, yes, this is the reason I come to Focus Club. So thank you. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thanks, guys. I think we're still within our time frame, Dave. Let's that one right. Acts chapter 2, 43 to 47. We use the CEV version at Focus Club. It's a little easier for everybody to understand. It says this: everyone was amazed by the many miracles and wonders that the apostles worked. All the Lord's followers often met together. They shared everything they had. They would sell their property and possessions and give the money to whoever was in need. Day after day, they met together in the temple. They broke bread together in different homes, shared their food happily and freely while praising God. Everyone liked them, and each day the Lord added to their group others who were being saved. And I just want to take sections of these and say that in a lot of ways this is what's happening at Focus Club. Since the beginning of this year, Summit Drive leadership has been teaching us about our shape, where we can fit and what we can do according to how God has made us. And when it comes to your shape, my message for you today is everyone can do something. Everyone can do something. Acts 2:42 to 47 is a great picture of how God uses anyone and everyone to help people see the loving leadership of Jesus Christ. I got to be honest with you, this year at Focus Club, it's lightning in a bottle. I haven't seen anything like this in my 10 years. The attendance is great, but the discussions at the table always seem to be going in areas where only God could take them. Our ministry right now has a great mix of spiritual gifts, great students, amazing and tireless volunteers, and I'm not sure it could get any better than it is at this moment. You know, in our passage we read, everybody was amazed by the many miracles and wonders that the apostles worked. I'm not much of a miracle guy, but there was a time earlier this semester where we weren't entirely sure who was going to show up and how many. And I was in charge of making food that day, so I bought 65 chicken legs, sweet and sour chicken legs from Costco. And 80 people showed up. Yeah, we had that same reaction. Whoa, what are we going to do now? We didn't do anything. We fed them all. And we didn't even account for the vegans, for the volunteers, and for the leftovers. You know, loaves, fishes, chicken legs. All right. April 19th, this is an announcement for you. We're going to do our first fundraiser since COVID. We haven't had to do a fundraiser since 2020. It's 2024. And when people say, hey, how do you fund Focus Club? I got to be honest and say, I'm not entirely sure. But there's always funds there available for us. And so if you want to join and help support the ministry directly, April the 19th is the second to last day of final exams, guys. It'll be okay. At Southwest Community Church, it'll be great. But even more miraculous is seeing people from all over the world gathering and sharing and meeting together amicably. Our motto is thanks for sharing, right? Everybody does this, even if we don't agree. Not everybody is a Christian. Actually, I think probably a small percentage of our people that are involved on a Friday night are actually Christians. One student said he comes to Focus Club because of the networking. He didn't know any other word for it. But it was because of the sharing. It was because of the kind reaction he gets to sometimes difficult subjects. He said, I can't just, talk to somebody at the bus stop about important and meaningful discussions because he says you'll never know how they'll respond to you. He says, at least here, we may not all agree about the topic, but we're talking about important things that matter. I don't get that anywhere else, not even in class. And so not every table discussion we have is life-altering, but right now it sure feels like every table discussion could be life-altering. All this wouldn't be possible without our volunteer team who show up, give rides, share their faith on a regular basis, invite students into their houses, show them how much God loves each and every one of them. Our team is great. They've become great friends to me. I got their names on here, but I'm sure I forgot a few, so I'm not going to name them and forget somebody. The point is that they are all serving according to their giftedness. Everybody has different strengths, and it seems to be going really well, miraculously well. Acts continues, all the Lord's followers often met together. They shared everything they had. They would sell their property and possessions and give the money to whoever was in need. Day after day, they met together in the temple. They broke bread together, different homes, and shared their food happily and freely while praising God. We're connected to multiple churches in Canada. 10 churches directly are helping us out by providing food every Friday. Many give to the city fund to help pay our operating expenses. Other volunteers from different churches wash the dishes. You have no idea what it feels like to watch 80 students go through and eat all your food, which is kind of exciting. And then you're the busboy picking up all the dishes going, who is going to deal with this? And one of our volunteers does every single Friday for decades. For decades. Southwest lets us use their entire building for free. People from College and Careers here on Monday run our entertainment and our games. And every time I think the games are going to go horrible because I've played them multiple times over the last 10 years, the students have a wonderful time. And it's another way to create great connections. Then they invite students out to Timmy's After Focus Club long after I've returned home and gone to sleep. Many of the Lord's followers are present on Friday night from all over the city. Every week we gather to eat, learn about other places and cultures, trying to be human beings in the best way possible. We're growing. And I think our numbers are a combination of a few things happening. I think it's economics. We give out free food on a Friday night. And in case you haven't noticed, that's a little bit more expensive than it used to be. It's more expensive than ever for international students to attend to TRU and to live in Kamloops. Free food is free for them. We have a great team, good core group of consistent students, and our team enjoys what we do. And it shows in the atmosphere we have there every single evening. Of course, it goes without saying that there's a great spiritual need in these 4,000 students from around the world. But it's not easy because everybody's on a different level, so to speak. Students come from everywhere, obviously different backgrounds, and different points of exposure to the Christian faith. Michelle, one of our volunteers, does culturally sensitive Bible studies. I'm like, hey, here's my Bible study. And she's like, yeah, you can't say that. I'll fix that for you. Great. Some students grew up in Catholic schools, attend Mass and Bible classes their whole life. Others, like one of the Japanese students I talked to briefly, said, and this really caught me, they're like, I don't know this particular word in English. I've never seen this word before. Okay, tell me what it is. Spell it out for me. And she said, J-E-S-U-S. Don't know what that is. And so sometimes that's where we start from. Everyone liked them, it says in Acts. And each day the Lord added to their group others who were being saved. 2 days ago, a student's like, hey, I got to make an announcement. I don't ever do announcements. I don't let people, go up and say whatever they want to say, except at church on a Sunday. And he says, no, this is going to be good. All right, I'll let you do it. And so he says, he got up and he says, I attended Focus Club for the first time 2 weeks ago, or a week ago. Whenever we did Valentine's Day, we do the 5 love languages, telling students in order to have a great partner, you need to be a great partner. And he's like, wow, I never heard anything like that in my whole life. He says, I love what was going on here so much. I ran down to the restaurant where I work downtown. And I don't remember the name of the restaurant. You guys remember? Okay. We should remember that because he's like, I talked to the owners and said if we go and mention Focus Club, they said they'll give 10% off to every student that goes there if they say Focus Club. And I'm like, with caveats, don't go yelling Focus Club at campus because they'll go broke. But he's like, it meant so much to me what you said that I had to do something to contribute along the way. And students like what Jesus is doing on Friday nights. And as great as, operations seem right now, I want to talk a little bit about what God is doing, and then we'll be done. This month, one of our volunteers brought in a traveling evangelist, and he just sat with students and enjoyed his time with them in the evening. Later on, one of the students involved in Focus Club that was visiting a friend, he had been part of Focus Club 8 years ago. I remember him, but he lives in Toronto. And then he was meeting and praying after Focus Club, outside of Focus Club, at this evangelist's house, and gave his life to Christ. And so I said to Pastor Samuel, because he was the traveling evangelist, I said, hey, this works pretty good. I'll bring them in. You bring them home. And Pastor Samuel will be the first to say, we serve the one who loves, draws, helps, heals, and saves those he puts in our path. Everyone can do something. God worked it out for 8 years behind the scenes. So a former student, now a professional, came to Focus Club a few times and get saved the day before returning home to Toronto, and we get him connected with Focus Club over there. So all of this to say thank you, church. Thank you for supporting and praying for Focus Club faithfully. Thanks to my family. My wife is often driving teenagers left, right, and center on Friday nights, while I'm driving students left, right, and center on Friday nights. Couldn't want a better teammate. So thank you. I want to offer you the idea that Focus Club is the cutting edge of sharing your faith. If you want to explain why you believe in who you believe in on a regular basis to people who are often far from God, they might not even recognize the name of Jesus, and Focus Club is your jam. I want to challenge you, of course, to pray. Pray for these people who are far from friends, family, seeking to live life on their own, often completely alone, and are here in our backyard waiting for somebody to connect with them. We also need, in a real practical way, meal providers. So if you can cook for 80 people, come and talk to me after. God wants a personal relationship with each international student as much as he wants a personal relationship with you and I. The most exciting part of Acts chapter 2 is of one single phrase: the Lord added others to them who were being saved. Will you trust in the promises of God and seek out his loving leadership? Will you consider partnering with us as well? Will you consider seeking out an opportunity to partner with this church, with Summer Drive, according to your shape? Talk to Dave. I'm sure he's got a place for any willing participants, because everyone can do something. So I want to introduce Pujan, who's going to kind of close things off for us. And he's our vice president of Focus Club. And put him at the end just to, well, you need to prepare your hearts for this.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going, everyone? Tickety boo? Peachy kid? or Gym Dandy. My name is Poojan Vakharia. Everyone calls me PV, like a PV Mart. I'm from Mumbai. I'm doing post-bac international business. Being a jovial and a bouncy personality, why to take unnecessary tension and stress? You just have to enjoy the moment, be in the moment, seize the moment, and capture it. Right now, I'm doing it with you all lovely people. So I'm the vice president of Focus Club. Focus Club is not a club. It's a pure love. Over there, Jeff and his team members, they play with us. They give us a chance to share our opinion. They provide us food, and the food is so finger-licking and mouth-watering. Wow. I feel so elated and delighted that I'm the part of the group. Most importantly, they pick up everyone from the university and they drop to our respective places. Who will do it in Canada? Our parents back in India, they feel like, is my child is doing hunky-dory? Is my child is happy over there? Is my child is getting all the facilities? But I can say that for me, Focus Club is the second home. And for many of the people who are coming to Focus Club, they are having a wonderful smile by the end of the week, by examination, stress, midterms, examination, lots of boring lectures. And they come to Focus Club. They are having a pretty much smile. This would have not happened if this gentleman was not there. Ladies and gentlemen, put a round of applause for Jeff Torrance. Over there, Jeff, he shares his wisdom. He teaches us valuable lessons on every Friday that helps us in our professional life, in our school life, and as well as in our personal life, and most importantly, in our spiritual journey. He always tells me that you are having a superpower, that you can rock it. He gives me a reminder that you can do it, anything. Miracles happen, and today he was talking about miracles. When I was coming back from India, my parents told me, just believe in yourself, do good deeds, do good karmas, and miracle will happen. Miracles are here, now, and always. So I'll just say that. Keep smiling. Say Jim Dandy all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you.